All right, welcome back to another exciting adventure of Streamlined Dungeons and Dragons, where we will stream some lines of Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe. Just kidding, sort of, but not always. Thank you guys for coming back into play. Thank you all for coming back into watch. To my direct side is Megan playing Calcine, our raging barbarian fighter fire ganassi, master of the pit, savvy business, fire ganassi type, owns Borla's Bacon, currently called Barbarian Bacon, under a bit of a legal dispute currently as well. Next to her is Tim playing Magvaris, our resurrected human life cleric, or Perego, also known as or the Life Lord, however you want to call him. Beside him is Cameron playing Jilsara, our Eladrin assassin, ranged assassin. Next to Cameron is Evan playing Zaius and Webb tonight. According to Zaius and Webb Winterthorn for both of them. They don't have real names. They're just Zaius Webb Winterthorn each. They're cloned. No, it's Evan and Audra. Evan is playing Webb, our once ranger who forgot all ranging and became a bard because all he could do was sing about his past deeds. And beside him is his wife, Audra, playing Zaius, who is not Webb's wife, an Aasimar paladin. And then I believe Max is just running behind. I don't know, I haven't heard from him, but I assume he's just maybe running behind. He is playing Rigby, our gnome divination wizard. And it might make sense that he's not around, as he sounded like he was doing a lot of scroll scribing this time around at this point. So, hi guys. How's it going? Oh, not too much. So, we left off last week with the team in Morzanth at Hectorville, which is, they stamped the sign into the ground recently, like Hectorville it is. You know, it's been decided. He's got a nice little, 10 or 12 man group of people, and there were some other citizens that have slowly been trickling in over time, coming back to rebuild Hectorville once Carpace no longer. As soon as you guys had rested and kind of got him set up as the new / continued mayor of Hectorville, you set off on the road and managed to make it to Morinth, the capital of Morzanth. In Morinth, you spent a little bit of time just finding different items that you all had downtimed me and said, hey, these are items we're looking for. We did some offline shopping, so you guys are kind of more prepared for what's to come. You don't spend very long in Morzanth. Those of you that are part of the Adventuring Guild, which I believe is most, if not all of you, can stop into the Daggerboard here and speak to Stulara, the custodian, or the main entrance front office person for the Daggerboard, and she will reward you, obviously, each. I don't remember, what was the total reward for figuring out the disappearing villages on the coast? Anybody remember?
Calcine probably has that in her notes.
I assume
800 gold.
Seems kind of pricey. Oh, Max decided to join us. Hi, Max.
Hey, sorry, I texted you.
I'm busy running a game. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I know. My bad.
It's all right, buddy. We're glad to have you here now. So, Calcine, did you have an idea on that? I think it was it 500 apiece? Is what I thought it was. Hello? Oh no, did she freeze again? Alright, well, she may have froze, so I think it was 500 gold apiece. Oh, she only sort of froze. She just told me what it was, but then she refroze. Not a big deal. I believe it was 500 gold pieces a piece for solving the mystery of the disappearing villages and towns, which I think you guys feel pretty confident that you did.
If I remember correctly, we were going to get a reward in Morzanth and in what was the other place?
They're tied together, so you won't get a double reward.
I believe that's what we negotiated, though.
You're negotiated up.
We negotiated 600 gold per person.
total, right?
Total.
So I'm going to
It
put
says
36.
that we were getting 300 before, and then we asked, and now we're getting 600. Like each
Okay, here we go.
each guild, like each country was giving us
Something, huh? There, I went ahead and added enough to the party sheet so I could clear it out. You all got a platinum, silver as well, and a silver as well, and then 600 gold each. So we had discussed going from Morinth to Summerside, which was the original city that you guys kind of worked out of, that everybody has more ties to, that we have a little bit more experience at. And some of you had mentioned wanting to try and figure out if we could get a teleportation circle from somebody with some clout. And the answer is yes. So you guys managed to discuss with Stu Lara what you're trying to do. She figures that out, points you in the right direction. You find someone that's willing to teleport you back to Summerside. So we are 2 weeks after, well, a little over 2 weeks after the Carpace Hectorville massacre or freedom, whichever you guys want to call it. It's either a massacre or the freedom of the freeing of, depending on whose side you're on. But you guys are now back at Summerside, which is Grenweld's capital. Summerside is an interesting town in that it's got lots to do. It does have a pretty well-known fighting pit that at one point in time was a no-kill fighting pit. Since you've been gone, that has changed. Now, Summerside, be that as it was, is now a little different. It's under new management. The mayor himself, if you remember correctly, I believe, was killed as well. So they have a new mayor. And this is... do you guys have that in front of you? Did that map pop up?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so this is Summerside. There are green links on the page you can click on. If you have any questions about what something is, feel free to click on those links. They should pop up and let you kind of know a rough summation of what's there. I haven't updated a ton since the last time, but this will give you a decent idea of some of what's gone on there in the past. Let's start with Max. He's the last one here, first one to go. We're just going to work our way back. So,
Yo.
You're at Summerside. You wanted to spend the 2 weeks in Summerside doing this downtime to get a bunch of spells and things, right?
Yeah, so you said it's 2 weeks later. Is
Right.
all of that completed?
All of that is completed. You managed to do just as much. You've got 4 NPC homeboys that carry you around on a palanquin.
No, they just kind of flank me.
I hear what you're saying. I really do, and I appreciate the fact that that's what you think happened. But I don't think we can. I don't know that I can viably give you 4 NPCs to fuck with and not have them carry you around on a straw mat at least.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
And I think you need to gain 200 pounds. The strenuousness of learning spells and hiring NPCs to do your bidding. Which you, by the way, hired more than just these 4. There was at least 1, if not 2 other NPCs. You're like, here's some cash, do my bidding. You're turning into basically, the new monarch of money over here. Just making it rain on peasants. Hey, got a shovel? Come with me.
Monarch of money.
Well, there's nothing wrong with tacking on a few pounds.
Yeah, you would know. But all right, so You're coming out of the Nomenclature Institute. You utilize their library resources and paper and things, and the quietness of the Nomenclature Institute to get your spell scrolls scrolled. And now, what is your plan that you are out of there?
Well, I'm kind of assuming that I've been shut up by myself this whole time, kind of doing my own business. So. I'd like to sort of check in on the rest of the party and see what they're up to. I'm kind of coming out into the light and blinking and thinking I wonder where the rest of my team is and what they've been up to. So I guess I'll head back to where was it that was kind of like our usual meeting place? I'm trying to remember.
So depends on who you are. The dagger board is the location that is basically Evan had it as the Thieves Guild once upon a time, but technically it's not a Thieves Guild. It is the Adventurers Guild. That is like a pretty safe bet place that you can go. Besides that, the Rib Tickler is Calcine's favorite location sometimes, because that is the fighting pits. There's a couple of bars that Webb is known to go to, like the Fisherman's Nook, I believe, is a pretty popular pub / inn that he goes to.
Okay, I'm not really that interested in the fighting pit, so I would probably head down to the dagger board. If I don't see any action there, go on to the Fisherman's Nook and just kind of hang out. I'm not in a hurry to get anything in particular done. I'm just kind of trying to check in with everybody else.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they got a great codfish sandwich down here. You're gonna love it.
That
Don't eat
sounds
the
great.
hush puppies though.
Okay.
Don't eat the hush puppies. That's good to know. That's good advice.
So do I see anything unusual at the dagger board?
You're
first of all?
going to be on the way there. I just need to know where you're going for now. So
yeah,
you're coming
that's
from
fine.
across town. So next to you is Zayas. This is your first time in Summerside. Being a Korsoth girl, or I can't remember where we said you were from, but it's somewhere. Wherever you're from, you've not
it
really,
is somewhere.
It's not Summerside, and you've not had a lot of experience here. You've heard of Summerside maybe a little. If you have history in your skill set, you can actually roll a history to kind of give you a little more insight on Summerside. You did mention wanting to stick with Calcine and hit the fighting pits up. Is that still accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so we got this guy, and we will. Where is him? Just drag him over like this. I think. Oh, I don't have anything added, so it's an 11.
Yeah, not a ton of knowledge on. I mean, it's a city. You know what I mean? It's on the coast.
It is a city. I do remember that.
Pretty big in Greenweld, I think. Pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty large.
Question though. So you're here. You've got a little cash. You are interested in the fighting pits. Was there anything else you were looking to do in regards to your personal self now that you're on the coast in a big city?
The coast feels like a key there.
It's just part of it.
So Zayas is new to the group. So, she definitely would want to kind of tag along to adventures and that different group members are having, just to kind of try to build a rapport with them, honestly, and figure out kind of what's going on. And so, yeah, I guess if the fighting pit is a thing we're doing separately or another time, that's great.
We're going to get to that for sure.
I know, man. And so, just no. I mean, I'd just like to, nope. I don't know. I don't know. I'm bad at this.
You're fine. You're doing the Lord's work. So the idea
Am
is
I? Maybe.
Stick with Calcine, hopefully, right? Stick with Calcine. Check out the fighting pits. She's going to show you the ropes. Perfect. Webb, you had a couple things you were wanting to do. Your 2 weeks you spent looking into stuff. You tried to get a hold of your mom. You scried on your mom's last known location. You tried to get a hold of your cousin. Or your best friend. Basically your only friend. But you did not manage to scry mother. When you went and scried over the location, you got a sick feeling in your stomach. The woods where you grew up were pretty charred, pretty burnt. A large fire ravaged the prowling jungle, and Mom is not being able to be scryed at this time. Your friend is being scryed easily enough, and he's just up to the same old no good stuff he's normally up to. He's at a house of ill repute doing his thing, which you guys used to do back before you were a bard. Now that you're a bard, you're much more PC.
Well, it's a great place for intel, really.
Mm-hmm.
Did he say what city he was in?
Yeah, so you didn't get to talk to him, you just scried him, right?
No. I cast sending to him.
Oh, so
after I
you get a
scryed
conversation.
him.
Perfect. Okay, so
Yeah.
he is actually in Yendel, in the Elven capital.
Oh, cool.
And he is just there, basically being a delivery boy for the Crown Prince of Yendel.
Okay, cool. And I scryed on mom and sister and cast sending on them as well. But
Mom was
scrying, I
unreachable.
didn't see.
Sister, was she in the
Okay.
Prowling Jungle as well?
Last I knew,
Okay, then you're not able to reach them in the
but
Prowling Jungle.
she's also a ranger. She doesn't obviously go near as far as I do, but
Sure. So both of them having last been in the Prowling Jungle, they are not reachable for you. So and you've been trying, day in, day out, every other day or so, waiting for the rest of the party to get their vacation on before you guys decide what you want to do.
yeah. And casting, sending, neither one of them responded to my messages.
Right. It's almost like you can't reach them. But you were able to reach the other fellow, whatever his name was.
Yeah,
I have it here.
Alinus.
Alinus?
Yeah.
Yep, so you managed to reach him. He's fine. He's in Yendel. He says the Elf King finally sailed the big ship across the sea to, end his life. And the Crown Prince is taking over. There's 2 sons to the Crown Prince of Yendel, the eldest of which is taking over the throne, the mother of which is just the mother of the Crown Prince, soon to be crowned king in the near future.
Okay. That's a lot.
As far as that was your 2 weeks basically, but then now that you're here, the Red Sock is your second home, I know. So I'm sure you've been in and out of there multiple times, checking on your old
the
friends.
Fisherman's Nook. I do love that, but I would go at some point to the temple, the Coppice, and talk to the priestess,
The naked priestess.
the naked priestess. Yep, and just see if she heard anything back from me, Madre,
Okay.
from
Cool.
the message
So,
she was sending. However long ago that was.
That'll be where you're off to then. You're off to go and see the priestess now because we have not done that.
Okay.
Mac, Cameron, Jilsara. I'm just going to say, I want to ask quickly before I go too deep into it. In your 2 weeks, you did a couple things kind of on the sleuthy side, the sneaky deaky do. I'm assuming those 2 weeks were both here, not Morinth, right? Like both those people?
Yeah.
Okay.
And spent a little bit of the first week exploring some of the wealthier parts of town with my first disguise. Once I got it created, making it known that there's a family member of the Eldrin royal family in town and that we're keeping an eye out on what's going on in town and may have requests to come. We'll see. And then spent some time over at the Rib Tickler and the where was the other one? Hang on, I got it. I was looking up here. Here's another one. The one where the military things happen. Hang on, I just saw it a second ago. The Virginess? No.
So you went and explored the Emerald Strand, is what I heard.
Yeah, I went to a couple different pubs as the old lady. So with my new disguise kit, dressed up as a haggard old woman to just lay low and listen in and see what's going on in town and what kind of trouble's coming around. And spent the last day or so trying to, over at the Overboard Parlor, trying to play some games of chance, see if I could win a little bit extra money after I spent a bunch of it.
Okay. And then quick question, Max. Would Rigby loan the NPCs to Jilsara so she could implement her disguise even better by being carried around by 4 palanquin bearers?
It's like a noble disguise or something.
Yeah. She's the royal family of the Eladrin line.
That's fine with me. I'm not using them for anything in particular right now.
So Cam, imagine this. He's about to go in to study for 2 weeks. He's like, listen, I just hired these 4, a palanquin is one of those like straw mats with the sticks that come out. Yeah. So you have a covered one, which has like a nice little roof on it and everything that you essentially can climb in and get carried around town to help with your disguise.
Yeah, Rigby, thank you.
So you're now being, and they're all robed and masked. Like they have golden masks on. They have like a black hood over it. They got a short sword on their side and a longbow over their shoulder, but they carry you, through town all regal like. So that's pretty good. But eventually you slip out of that to go and bet as yourself at the Rib Tickler. Is that what I hear?
Yep.
All right,
can't have too many people seeing my different characters. So
I think that's good. You're tired of faking being rich. You're tired of faking being ugly and poor. You decide to go and risk it all and be yourself for an evening of gambling and debauchery. That sounds about right.
Yep. Might even spend a little bit of time at the Red Sock. We'll see. It's not too far from the parlor.
Sometimes those velvet socks, all right, cool. Tim Magvaris gets to the city, right?
Yep.
Good news is, and you probably remember this more than anybody else, Tim, but Parego's temple was kind of an empty wastebasket of holiness. Like, there was not a lot going on there. There was no followers. You did a mass for like 30 people, and they called you the high priest the rest of the time you're in the city. That is not the case anymore. As you walk up to the Temple of Parego, it has been cleaned. There's easily 100 parishioners wandering around. There's monks. There are priests with vestments. There is a continual line of people asking for the blessing of Parego. And as soon as you walk in, everyone notices you, bows to you, and defers out of your way. So that, like, if they're in your way, they step aside as you walk into the temple.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's definitely a good thing. And you had a couple things you're doing in your downtime as well. Let's make sure we handled all those and what you plan is for now that you're in Summerside.
Yeah, no, I definitely did some shopping. I was also, as a cleric, I tend to wander the streets quite a bit. As Kelsey's #1 fan, I also tend to follow her quite a bit. So mostly when she's passed out drunk in the pubs, I wander the streets and heal the wounded and give. I actually subtracted about 400 coppers from my inventory because I always give coppers to the urchins when I see them.
Okay, so you paid off some riffraff. Got it.
Absolutely. Well, I want to make sure they have money at least to eat. I don't want any children starving, especially children. And I walking into the temple, I expected to be shunned as a undead.
Yeah, well, none of them know that, and none of them have checked. But
so they can't tell. Okay.
The name Magvaris rings true as one of the New Age prophets of Parego, potentially. There's a whole new line of worshippers that are like pure Magvaris.
Cool. Yeah, so as I walk in there, I'm gonna, kind of scan the crowd, see if anybody's injured, and then if they are injured, then I can go and perform a ritual to heal them.
Prayer of healing.
Yeah, prayer of healing. And if everyone's healed up, then I will leave and probably meet Kelsey at the Rib Tickler because I want to watch the fights.
Okay. Before you leave to go to the Rib Tickler, I'm going to have a conversation with you about something, but you're on the way to the Rib Tickler is what we'll leave it at. But I'm going to have a conversation with you, and let's see. Let me find the right person here. So a kind of robust and not very tall, about 5'5", robust human priest to Parego comes to you as you enter, and he's bowing. He's very oh, Lord Magvaris, thank you for gracing our church with your honorable presence. So happy to have you return. And he's like flushed in the face. He's a little bit thicker. He seems winded the entire time, like he's almost exasperated. But he is falling over himself to introduce himself to you. He's like, I'm Miko. I'm one of the priest's main main presenters, and I've been handling a lot of the restoration of the church since your last visit. Is there anything that we can do for you? Will you put your word behind my master, or are you running for church office, or?
Tell him I'm gonna tell him no. I'm not. I have no designs on any hierarchy within this church. As long as you are doing Parego's will, then you are in the right. If I find that you are not, then I might have problems.
Ooh. Oh, of course, no problems. And he gets bright red, like almost purple, up to his ears. Like, no problems. We follow Perego's teachings and yours, Lord Medvaris. Please, of course, if you have time, perhaps you would just dine with my master tomorrow.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Oh, thank you. Just take this, and he hands you a scroll, and it's like it's tightly wound and gold thread bound with a red wax stamp on it, with the sign of Perego stamped into the wax, closing it. So just bring this to the to the temple tomorrow, around 4-ish, mid-afternoon, early evening, and you'll have a nice sup, and my master and you can discuss the church in depth. Thank you, my lord. He like bows himself like out. And Calcine. What a couple weeks it's been. It didn't take you very long to find what you're looking for. You shuck a couple merchants, had the guards show up and turn right back around. Like, it was a whole thing. Like, what do you mean 5,000 gold? I'll give you 30. And they're like, oh, and like it happened a couple times. Eventually the guards realized that you were just a businesswoman of sorts. But that being said, what up? Let's talk about your downtime briefly and then what you're doing now.
My entrepreneurial efforts.
Correct.
Well, obviously Marvin and the Marvinites are of the utmost importance to me right now. I would like to check on them. I mean, part of my downtime was checking on them, making sure that the business is running smoothly. Also, I'm probably interested in giving them a bonus should they still be running the business effectively. I'm like to share the wealth and encourage them to keep on keeping on while I'm not around.
It does sound like your first step in your downtime really was to check in on Barbarian Bacon and to get your ties to the inns in town back up and running. Based on what you sent me and what we're talking about. Good news is the shop is up and running. Bad news is Borla is on, not sabbatical, but he's on a business trip to try and up the overall coverage of the business to Korsoth and maybe even to Bomgon, the newly rationalized or nationalized theocracy to the south. So he's working his way between those two places. What's that?
Completely my business plan.
That what?
I said it seems a little unbelievable given that he's a drunk and it's completely my business plan.
Yeah, that's just what he told Marvin. He's drunk at the Red Sock in a corner with a hat on that nobody can recognize him in. But, but like he told him he was going to go work on stuff to keep things running. So the downside is that the goblin's idea of cleanliness and yours are different. So you get to the shop and it looks like you're at the Steak and Shake that never closed, even though it should have when the rest of them did, like 10 years ago. Or whatever it was. So, and it is gross. I mean, they've got rotted meat that they just cut away. Sometimes they serve it. It's not great. The good news, that was the bad news. The good news is the Goblin Chef party has expanded. It's not just Martin and Marvin and Marin and Mikey. There's now Mimpsy and Mari and Marin and Mech.
Perfect.
So there are, 6, 7, 8... 9 guys. Oh, and Chef Bo as well. Don't forget him. He's the only one that doesn't have an M name, Chef Bo. So there's 9 goblins now running Barbarian Bacon's, main store. They have 3 of them that go out and hunt giant boar and any other meats they can basically find. They bring in and make bacon out of. The recipe is not as good as Borla's anymore, but it is passable if you can get past the rotted part of the meat. Sales have not been great. They have managed to sell a little bit, but most people are turned off by the goblins and the disgusting. So do with that as you will.
Sure. We're probably going to have to hire a not goblin to supervise.
Hot call.
I'm going to pull Marvin aside and speak with him, being to being. And let him know that this is not the correct standard. And just because Borla was okay with this doesn't mean it's okay. We're going in a different direction now. And I'd really like for him to be part of that new direction. And I'm going to hand him like a platinum piece.
He takes it, he immediately bites it, gets really wide-eyed, slides it into a pocket, it falls out the hole in the pocket, he scrambles to pick it up, the hat falls over his eyes, it rolls into a gutter, falls down a sewer, he's now trying to reach his arm down into the sewer, eventually he gets it, grabs it back out, and it's a copper piece. And he looks at it again, kind of confused, puts it in his pocket, it falls out as he walks away. Well, a different direction. A different direction. I want to go any direction, Mistress. Mistress Calcine has all the directions. Left, right, left. Up and left. Maybe even right, and the other one.
You might have to have that meeting twice, Calcine. You know, I feel like Zaius would have just been creeping around a corner.
It's funny because like Zaius and Magvaris round the corner as you're talking to them, and just show up like their Calcine radar clicking off. You know. Really though, Rigby, you'll be kicking around. You'll be coming close to there too because I believe that the Borla's bacon was between the Flatback and the Chivalry right there, pretty close to the Fisherman's Nook. So really, everybody can converge on the Barbarian Bacon shop, which is at this time a 15-foot by 10-foot building that is falling apart and is pretty gross. Good news, for a few thousand gold pieces, you can buy the small warehouse next to it.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen if we can manage to get this cleaned up. Hate to make an investment and like leave it behind and just have a bigger mess when I get back. So I'm going to instruct the goblins to get rid of the rotting meats, clean up the floors, sweep it up. I want it to be spick and span. By the time I come back, I'm going to the Rib Tickler to do some investigating.
Do you speak Goblin?
I speak Marvin.
Do you speak actual Goblin, though?
I probably don't. I think I speak Giant. No, I speak Infernal and Primordial and Common. Not helpful languages, but they make sense given my...
They all start jumping around and doing things as you're saying, hey, clean this place up, do this, do that, do this, slap, 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 get your shit together. And they're like their heads are spinning, they're looking around, they're all scrambling. This is like a 3, maybe 4-person area, and there's 9 of them in here. And they're like running around, grabbing stuff. The smallest one, who's by far the cutest and ugliest, slams an entire rotten ham leg in his mouth to get rid of it. He's like, ah! He starts trying to talk in Goblin to you while he's chewing on this giant ham leg. You speak Goblin, don't you?
I don't think I do. But Zaius is kind of, again, like, can we say she's kind of creeping around at this point? She's glomming on to various things.
You and Magvaris and Rigby and now Webb and Jilsara are all kind of coming together here at the Barbarian Bacon.
Awesome.
Shack.
So watching this happen, Zaius is going to try really hard to not like laugh out loud at the goblins because she's trying, but it's tough. And she is back at Webb and gets Calcine's attention and reminds Calcine that Webb actually can cast comprehend languages. If we just want to communicate with people here, because I'm not sure they're getting the gist.
When I notice that they're not getting the gist, I'm going to pull Marvin aside and be like, Marvin.
Yes.
I need you to tell your friends the rotten meat goes away. The floors need to be cleaned. I'm going to work on a bigger building for everyone. So clean equals bigger building.
I did not know that. Your language is
clean.
Strange.
Like human clean. Like human clean. Like no more stinky meat.
You say that and like you look over and Mech has like a mop with dirty water in it that's like black. And he's like pulling the mop out that's from it and like not wringing it and just dragging the black water across the ground trying to clean. Like they've obviously mopped before, they've just never changed the water.
My face is in my hand. I'm going to have to show them what to do.
Okay.
And that's fine. It's like I said, it's downtime. So I am fine spending some downtime helping teach them some serve safe practices.
Okay. So you guys get there and Calcine has one goblin wrapped around her ankle as she's sweeping. She's got another one that keeps like sliding on places that she sweeps, or like sliding through the slush of the muck. And then another one dumping one mop water into a different empty mop water, but using dirty water still, just moving it to a clean mop bucket. Like just doing all kinds of just imagine the craziest 9 goblins bouncing around and an angry fire ganassi trying to show them how to straighten and clean things. And just imagine however that looks in your head as the rest of you kind of wander up. That's what you see. But you are all together. You are yeah.
Rigby says something like, Kelsey, looks like you could use some help.
I look at him and go, yeah.
So Rigby starts casting Unseen Servant as a ritual. He's not going to get his own hands dirty, but he'll send the Unseen Servant in to help out and do what it can. I think it can hold a broom and
Dee,
stack
Tommy,
plates
Joey,
and stuff.
Johnny show up to Rigby. So 4 dark cloaked gold masks figures show up and just are standing outside, kind of like leaning one way, one the other way, one forward a bit. None of them standing particularly straight up, but they all come and they all are standing outside, 2 on either side of the door to Barbarian Bacon's main store.
Okay, Rigby says something like, my new friends. I'm sure they'll be willing to help out as well. Boys, put your gear down and why don't you step inside and provide some assistance.
Tommy, Joey, and Johnny head right in.
I'm going to gather the goblins. I'm going to literally pick them up and put them in one space together and have them watch and instruct Marvin that this is how I want things done. I want you to learn what they're doing and see how they're using clean water to mop and see how they're throwing away the green moldy meat. And they're we're being very specific.
Rigby,
and talking to Marvin as though he is a child.
Rigby, you would need to describe and explain the actions you expect of them. So you're probably going to have to move over all right, Dee, I said boys. And Dee shrugs I'm a girl. Or I don't know. You can't really tell with the robe, but he'll go in, they'll go in as well, and then Rigby is wandering around next to his 4 commoners or 4 warriors he's hired to guard him, and he's got them picking up stuff, and he's describing in detail to each one like their children as well. So now Calcine and Rigby are both describing in detail, one in English or one in common to the 4 humanoids. And then another in common as well to the 9 goblins. And the goblins, they pick up some of it. And they definitely they're watching the 4 robed figures do their thing. And the rest of you are just standing here. And now there's not just 9, but there's 13 individuals, 15 if you count the 2 PCs, in this 3-person sized building.
No, the goblins are in the doorway with me.
Okay.
I moved them out of the way.
Okay. I like it. That sounds good. So the goblins are watching, and your 4, they're not fast, Max. They don't get shit done with a quickness, but they do step by step what you'd said. Empty out the water, fresh mop, wring it out, sweep a few spaces, rinse, wash, repeat, etc. Sweep first. You kind of go through hey, you go sweep everything, you clean these pans, and they're in there getting it. The weird thing those, huh?
They do it quietly as well, right?
They say nothing. They've no responses, just nod. They just nod and get to work. The weirdest part is when they start to wash the pots and pans and things like that or whatever they've used, is they don't take their gloves off. They just reach their fully clothed hand into the water and scrub it and pull it out, and they do it. They don't really look at it close, but they definitely wipe it and clean it better than goblins. About 2 hours goes by, and the place looks, I wouldn't say clean, but it looks pretty spick and partially span. So they managed to clean the place up. You are all together in front of the Barbarian Bacon. The goblins are standing there looking in awe at the 4 hardworking humanoids, cloaked humans. What do I call them? Just call them minions. Max's minions.
You can call them minions or servants.
Rigby's servants. So they look in awe on to Rigby's servants, and they're pretty impressed by the whole thing. But the place looks good. Everything's not necessarily organized, but it's clean at least.
Perfect. The other part of my downtime, I don't know how much of this were wanting to have played out beforehand. There was investigating regarding the obviously I'm going to sell some more bacon. I'm probably going to like hand out some of my dragon stuff too, just as like a little teaser, like we're expanding our lines, and work on some of the business stuff. But also I was interested in investigating the different conditions that happen with the rib tickler, because there might need to be a talk with the new mayor.
We're actually going to the rib tickler as a group after just a moment here.
Okay. So all that stuff will happen. I just wanted to make sure that
in your downtime, you did manage to set up a regular order to the 2 bars that you had on the promise of the meat not being rotten. They said they stopped ordering after the 3rd week because the stores were coming in not nearly as good as the initial lot.
Sure. I'll explain that my partner disappeared into what I can only assume is multiple vats of ale somewhere.
So Borla basically becomes the Where's Waldo of the All of You world. Like, you guys will be in a bar and you'll like look in a corner and you'll see a dwarf with a hat kind of over his face a bit, drunk in the corner, and you're always like, "Is that Borla? Let's not bug him." You know. Cool. And then you guys were all going to head over towards like the rib tickler. I think that was the vast majority of you. Besides Tim having something to do tomorrow, did I miss anything? Because I know we went over a lot just now.
Just me going to the temple.
The temple just to talk to the naked lady. Yeah, that sounds good.
We can do that in a little bit.
She's out.
Baby's
you can
awake.
meet with her tomorrow as well.
Volume.
She's not
Cool.
available for meeting today, but she will meet with you tomorrow at the same time that Magvaris. Cool. So you guys go to the rib tickler, and you're actually quite surprised. You get to the rib tickler, and it has been 100% redone. It looks like they tore a lot of it up. They, changed the flooring out from being dirt and mud. They put like a wood, almost not basketball court. It's not that shiny or that polished, but like basically a wood floor in. They have changed the seating a little bit around to better allow for people to be seen, but also for people to see and also for people to move around. Something about an assassin trying to kill somebody in the packed crowd, and then the change of the mayor and change of ownership of the rib tickler itself. The half orc who owned the rib tickler, give me investigation if anybody cares about the owner of the rib tickler at all.
I assume that I've been doing some. Can I maybe like ask Thronbar what he knows about all this stuff? Like, I assume that he was easy to track down.
He's at the rib tickler right now, actually, so that works out. He likes to be there. That's his joint.
I've got a terrible investigation. I want to see what happens.
Got a really good bonus on investigation. I rolled the worst.
You're doing really good. It looks like, even just Webb alone, Webb and Rigby alone. Oh no, not Rigby.
That was really not Webb's. Investigation.
Webb, interestingly enough, you discover that the half orc with the claw hand that used to run the place was found dead just outside the Red Sock about a week after you guys left. His head was all but severed from his body, and his tongue was cut out. So no one, when they tried to speak to dead, he couldn't say shit.
This is for Webb?
Huh?
This is for Webb?
Webb is the one that investigates enough to figure that out. He spent so much time at the Red Sock, he heard all the rumors.
Yeah, he's mixing a bottle, but he hears you. Yeah.
Little man awake?
And fit to be tied. Yeah, very exciting. Yeah.
Cool. Let me get that. That's what I was going to do. I was going to get the... So, upon going to the rib tickler, this is the new map for it.
Oh.
So I don't know if those of you that maybe remember it, it was similar to this, but like it didn't have as like spaced out of benches before. It was much more tight and much more to your imagination. But I went ahead and kind of made a little more room for people to move on there. There is, as you can still see, there's still like the wooden plank ceiling above, or like roof above the edges, all around the edges of the fighting arena. There's still only just the one underground gateway to get into the arena at the top there in the north. But it's much nicer. It's a little bit better quality than before, and it's a little more room to breathe. They are holding less shows now than they were before, but the ones they do hold draw a larger, like a more lucrative crowd, is what I want to say. You were investigating. One of the people, Megan, that you wanted to investigate was the half-orc who is dead. So Webb, when he gets back from making a baby bottle, tells you all about that and how that guy ended up dead shortly after we left town.
Well, that's part of the reason I wanted to find Thronbar, because he's been here this whole time,
Of course.
he's a trustworthy member of the Kalsa Nation.
He is at least part of the Kalsa Nation. And you do find him, and those of you that don't know, Thronbar is a kind of rough and tumble, semi-fighter pit, semi-swashbuckler type dwarf, who Calcine fought day one in the Rib Tickler and beat by, like, not a lot, right? Like, it was pretty close.
At the time it was.
Yeah, at the time, right. But
It wouldn't be anymore.
He is there with Zachariah. They've become fast friends.
Oh, sure.
Him and Zachariah are sitting and enjoying a pint together and some quail. And you come up and they're very excited to see you. So, Calcine, thank God you're back. So good to see you. Are you planning on fighting? Have you come back to grace the Rib Tickler with your expertise?
Most likely, given that the conditions are better than they were than I left them.
And the really good news is when you walk into the Rib Tickler now, whereas before it was a blank stone hallway, that opened up into like kind of like a few different stands where you could get refreshments and whatever else, shirts and things made for whatever, magically marked fighters on these shirts and things, hats, paraphernalia for all the games. Now there's the Hall of Heroes, in which you're one of the posters, basically standing over a dead Cyclops. With one foot on it. It's very. You did not pose for this. You didn't approve the image, but it definitely suits you for the way you like things to look. So like you're basically standing with your fists in the air. The fist wrap blowing in the wind. Fire kind of going with it, and your foot up on this like felled Cyclops. And that's like your hero's poster on the way into the Rib Tickler. So that's the first thing you would notice on entering, and then you run into Thronbar and Zachariah, who was a human, kind of older sailor type dude that you guys sailed with at one point. Some of you did. So they ask you, are you going to partake in the games?
And I answered them with a bit of an inquiry more than anything. It was my plan, considering that the conditions maybe had changed since last time. Last time wasn't much of a fair fight. It was curious how conditions have been.
Yeah, it seems pretty good, Thronbar says. I mean, all fighting pits are dangerous, and with the new mayor lifting the no-kill ban on the Rib Tickler, it's definitely drawn a more robust crowd, or I don't know, and maybe a less healthy group of individuals to come and fight. So there's definitely danger in it, but I mean, you'd be fine. You're Calcine.
Well, the issue isn't being fine or not being fine. The issue was last time there was a hidden spellcaster, and that wasn't in the pit, right? So the issue last time was that we thought we were fighting these 3 Cyclops, which is fine. I don't like whatever. They ended up being mirror images, but then a spellcaster came out of nowhere that
saddened you.
That wasn't originally part of the fight and wasn't in the pit while we were fighting. So to me, to Calcine, not really a fair fight when you can't prove that your enemy isn't part of the crowd. And the others noticed that more than Calcine, because not all of us were fighting. But there's a lot of honor and glory in this pit, and Calcine takes a lot of pride in that, and does not appreciate being deceived. And this area was made for a fair fight. If I want to go out and adventure and get taken by surprise, I will, and I do. But this is where this is a sport.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen any wizards in the stands since that fight with you, and I thought you knew about that. You did a really good job of taking them out. Like, I mean, you managed to kill everybody around, didn't you? Or I remember you at least came out on top. You won the day.
Not about winning. I mean, it's about winning.
Zaya says, watch him try to compliment you out of your point.
Hey, can I ask? Was that spellcaster important in any way? Like, did he, or was he just like a guy who ambushed us and then disappeared?
I think he ambushed you guys and disappeared, and you haven't seen him since. Is that right? Because you didn't kill him. You killed him and the assassin both got away. I think you managed to take the Cyclops out, and then you went and fought the rest of those Cyclopses that were from the same place that he was from.
That sounds right. So he's is he like a wanted criminal now, or like...
he's at large, but there's no reward for his bounty. Like, no. Oddly enough,
I believe like the pitmaster like told us that he was part of the fight to begin with, like because he was the owner of the Cyclops or something.
Right. And Calcine did not like that. She's like, well, I was not informed we'd be fighting a magic user and the Cyclopses.
Yeah, it just wasn't transparent, and it should have been. I'm concerned with... I'm going to inquire, ask them about the new owner, since we don't have the previous owner anymore, and he was who most of my beef was with through that realm. Let's hear a little bit about the new owner.
He's a mysterious man, the new game master. He showed up right after you guys left, actually. Shortly after the old pitmaster died, he put a claim on and bought the place outright to no contest from anyone else. I believe he's elven. I don't know much about him besides that. He keeps to himself, wears a hood in public, doesn't seem to like the sun. But he doctored this place up. It looks really good. I don't know if you saw the Hall of Heroes. But I mean, he's not by anywhere. He's not two-sided as the last owner. The half-orc was kind of a schemer. I feel like the new gentleman, they just call him the game master, or the owner, the rib tickler's owner. No one really calls him anything. No one talks to him. He's got his own personal bodyguard, and he only comes to the highest events.
Does anyone know where he is right now?
I surely don't. That's above my pay grade, last. Haven't met you yet. I'm Thronbar, also known as the Mighty. Who might you be?
I'm Thronbar. I'm Zaius. People know me as all kinds of things, but yeah, most of them are dead now. The ones who call me things. So, but it's so good to meet you. Hello.
Would you like some ale?
Oh, I'm all set. I think I'm gonna keep a clear eye tonight. There seems to be some shadiness going on.
Oh, not of late at all. Oh,
no? Oh, that's great. That owner of yours, you've seen him in person?
Oh, no, he's not my owner. Perhaps our conversation drove you left of where we were. I'm Thronbar, a arena contender,
so
sailor,
he doesn't own Thronbar.
Master fighter.
Got it. Oh, yeah. No, you're a thing of legend. But the owner of this here place, the
game master.
Yeah. He doesn't like the sun, you say?
Well, I mean, he doesn't seem to, as he wears a dark hood every time he's out. Because the way that the rib tickler is set up is it stands inside a building, but there's sunlight that comes down from the center. So, like, the center is essentially open air, but the rest has, like, a roof, so the people watching don't get wet if it rains, but the participants have no cover.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So this guy, as context, Thronbar, he is a fighter? What is he?
He's a dwarven fighter. Yep, that they know and know pretty well.
Okay.
Ronbar
Positive
here helped us
impression?
at the mission before we met you. He helped us defeat the what was it, the serpent plague or the serpent cult.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
It's the sea serpent, goddess of the sea.
The snake people.
Yeah.
So he doesn't necessarily seem like he's concerned with all the shadiness here, but that doesn't necessarily make him shady. He's just a fighter. We
right.
don't know.
He's not part of the establishment. She's
Love it.
concerned because
Probably
the
drunk.
last time you guys she got.
I'm good with drunk people. I would like to, with more context, I'd like to withdraw my extra sass for him. Yeah, nice to meet you, Thronbar. Hope to see you in the ring sometime.
Oh, that would be
Rigby's-
fantastic.
Rigby says, I'll take some ale. Could I get a pint?
Ah, of course. A gnome is but a smaller dwarf. Please come join us. And he, pours a pint out of his pitcher of ale he's got in front of him, and he pours it heavy and heady for you, and slides it over, and it's about 2 times the size of your normal pint that you would grab because it's just bigger.
I give him a generous tip.
Oh, well, he doesn't need a tip. He's not a waiter. You're joining the table.
He takes it anyway, though.
Yeah, he's not the waiter. He's sitting here getting drunk. And Zachariah is very pleased to see you as well. He's "Ah, I see you've made it!" The normal Zachariah, like, super dupe, old gray-haired swashbuckler words, I knew you would proceed to win the day. Things like that.
Then, Calcine, you weren't confronting anybody as part of the establishment. You were, like, addressing a shadiness, but with just, like, a fellow fighter?
Yeah, Thronbar and Zachariah are team NPCs. They're part of the group, sort of.
Love it. Okay.
They're people that they've left behind that they adventured with before that they relatively trust.
Okay, cool.
Ronbar is part of the calcination, so he's a good contact.
And for those of you just joining, the calcination is the large, now semi-industrious group of followers of Calcine's fisticuff movement. Essentially, every time she fights in the ring, she gains WWE-style fandom. Which is part of why she has a poster. Thronbar needs to win one more match to get his Hall of Heroes poster up there. But yeah, so things like that. So that's the calcination, is a nation of Calcine followers, or basically what Magvarus and Thronbar both are.
Okay.
Yeah, Thronbar is number 2 in the Calcine.
Correct. Magvarus will always be my number 1.
What if I beat him in the ring? Says Thronbar, slightly drunk.
I don't know. This guy saved my life more times than you have.
That is a debt that can never truly be repaid, Thronbar says. He slams a tankard of ale back and just, foam in his beard, drinking it down, all happy. Super pumped that you're here, very happy. Orders another round. Arena some more! Calcine's returned! Just super stoked, the whole nation. There's like a crowd starting to enter into the pit, like the rib tickler. There's like people are starting to funnel in for the event that's coming up here in the next 15 minutes or so in game.
Hey, sorry I'm late, everybody. I had to get some intel over at the Red Sock.
He comes in scratching his thigh.
I actually come back and I look just like Webb when you met him, because he has the hat of disguise now.
You're so ashamed of your fatness that you're gonna use a hat of disguise for 1 hour a day and hope your friends don't notice that you're only you once an hour for 1 hour. Because the hat of disguise is only good for an hour.
Correct, but you can cast it at will.
Is it how many times?
It'll revert back after an hour, but then you can recast it.
Is that right? What a cheater.
What did I miss here, guys?
Just catching up with old friends.
Oh, yeah, Thronbar.
And Zachariah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Um,
Magvarus, how did it go at the church?
Actually went much better than expected.
Oh, good. I saw you heading up to the temple there.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are sitting around and having a good old time drinking, catching back up after your 2 weeks of just doing your own thing. The 15 minutes go by in game for the start of the main event, or like everybody's coming in off the street to come see. In the ring itself is a 9.5 foot tall, black armored, two-hand sword wielding just monster of a being. Just looks super, super deadly. We're talking, 350 to 450 pounds of just angry 8-9 foot tall, monstrous, giant sword wielding creature against a 3.5 foot tall halfling with a dagger and a pair of pajama shorts on with little hearts on them.
So the guy is armored to the point where we can't tell what he is. We assume maybe like a Goliath.
He's in full plate armor. A Goliath would be a great guess, just because he's like 8 or 9 feet tall. You are above him. You're about 15 feet above him because of where the stands are. The halfling easily 3 or 4 feet, not very big. Looks kind of skinny. All he has is what looks to be a pretty crude dagger. Literally wearing a pair of shorts. He's not the heart's aside. But literally, he's not. He looks like he just basically got robbed of everything, and they threw him a steak knife and said, "Do your best." And then they put.
Does he look worried and scared, or is he just like, I'm here, and this is the way I dress, and it's in
He does not appear. He doesn't appear healthy, really. He does appear determined. But I wouldn't say that he's necessarily happy with this arrangement.
Okay.
And it's a kill match.
Right. So no more cleric there to keep everybody from falling down.
Right. But here again though too, like you don't know what's going on. As far as they don't have to kill. It's not like you have to kill to go in the ring. It's just they're not holding anything back at this point. It's kill or be killed, or don't get up if you're trying to end it, but beware they might cut you down anyway. So a little bit of time goes on. Are you guys going to place bets on the match?
Yep.
Rigby doesn't gamble.
Okay.
Is there a standard kind of bet around here? Can I kind of find that out?
Like how much the standard bet is? It really just depends how much you want to put down. It's
There's no minimum bet or anything
for the Goliath.
Well, I mean,
No.
When she saw the halfling, she decided to put down like 2 gold on him.
On the halfling?
Yeah.
What are odds?
3-1 odds for the Goliath.
Can I bet that Calcine jumps into the ring?
I wouldn't take that bet.
She's like, I'm on break.
I'm going to bet 5 on the Goliath. And I lean over to Zayas and say, that kid's going to get chewed up.
You might be right, but I kind of want to see what happens. I'm really hoping he's got something up his sleeve. He's got balls to go up there.
Jilsara, do insight check.
Okay.
And everybody can, if you're looking at the contestants before you place your bets, throw an investigation or perception at me. An insight wouldn't hurt either. Any of those combinations be good.
Okay. Because my bet was made because I looked at the guy. Let's see. Perception.
Did you want me to roll perception as well?
Yeah, you can. Your insight was pretty good, though.
23.
Yeah, but
Webb, you can't perception twice, Webb.
I didn't. I just went once. I think she rolled on mine.
Oh, I see. That means it would. Yeah.
I must have rolled on his.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so
Still pretty good at perception anyway.
the armor on we'll say Goliath, looks brand new. It is black. It has some strange etchings around the edges of it. But it is pristine. Same with the greatsword. No chips, no tarnishing. Basically a brand new greatsword. Looks real nice.
I turned mine off.
Most likely has magical qualities, as well as there are some magical etchings around the hilt, the pommel, and the blade itself have some writing on it. Too far away for you to see. The halfling, his blade appears to be normal. He has scars over close to 40% of his body. It looks like he's seen battle a few times. He doesn't have anything fancy or special about him, but he definitely is not a child. He's in his middle age as a halflings go, and he has definitely seen combat for some time. A few times.
So you tell me that I need to pull back my bet.
I'm going to tell you right now, as the dungeon master, that I'm going to roll for this, so I don't know who's going to win. But it could go either way.
I'm going to bet 100 platinum on the halfling.
Whoa! Good golly, Miss Molly. The church pays well. Okay, the...
Dragons pay well.
Dragons pay well. You say that to the person you're placing the bet with when they say, holy moly, the church pays well?
Absolutely.
Yes, do it.
Nice. The half-elf lady behind the counter's eyes get big when you say that, and she's, oh, goodness. I can imagine they were. A whole dragon's horde? Are you truly Magvaris?
Do I look like Magvaris?
You do look like Magvaris.
Marius got real cocky.
I love it.
No, just like super matter of fact. Like, of course I'm Magvaris. Like, who else would I be?
I've never seen any heroes like you before. Do you know Calcine? She's famous.
Yes, I know Calcine. I'm her number one fan.
Oh my gosh. I beg to differ, but I don't want to fight you about it. I love her. But no, okay, that sounds good. But you place your bet. The lady's impressed by the amount of it and the fact that you're Magvaris. Who's keeping track of the bets? Do I need to do that, or somebody got it? You got it, Megan? Okay, so I've got 100 platinum for the halfling from Magvaris. I've got 2 gold from Zeus on the halfling.
Halfling. And 5 gold on the Goliath from Josara.
Okay, and Rigby doesn't bet. Webb?
100 gold on the halfling.
Okay. I'm going to do a series of rolls. And we'll see who wins, okay? Let me just do this real quick.
Kelsey's not betting on the first bet or the first match. She's just watching the process and the fight and the crowd and everything else.
Oh, it's going to be rough. Let me see, I got 2 more. Okay, so they go for just about a minute of combat that you guys get out of this. It's not that long. They go back and forth. Immediately out the gate, the halfling gets cut across the chest right as he's trying to dodge a blow from the giant or the Goliath. Then shortly after that, the Goliath manages to back him up against the wall, knocks him to the ground, cuts him again and again and again, and then finally, about 3/4 of the way through, the halfling manages to shank between the crevices of his armor into the thigh of this giant Goliath and makes a bunch of blood splurt out. The Goliath rages, kicks him across the room. Not rages really, but like gets angry about it. Uses his booted foot to kick the halfling across the room. He manages to land it, and then the onslaught continues. It is nowhere close. The Goliath won 9 out of 10 rounds in combat, and in the last 6 seconds of combat, he cuts the halfling in half. He's now his quarterling. And blood splurts everywhere and trails all over the floor. death becomes him. He's totally 100% he's dying on the floor before you guys in 2 pieces.
Rigby says something like, "It was plain as day the halfling wouldn't stand a chance."
Should have bet. So that means then you
That's
take some money off their sheets if they didn't bet on the Goliath. The Goliath was definitely more well equipped for combat than the halfling, but the halfling did do a healthy blow to his leg and splurted blood all over himself from it. So what does everybody owe, Megan?
2 gold from Zaius, 100 platinum from Magvaris, and 100 gold from Webb. Josara bet on the Goliath.
So she gets what, 15 gold back?
Woo, I'm rich.
No, she would get like 2 gold.
She gets like
3 to 1.
It'd be like,
She gets-
3 to 1
She
for
gets
the
7
Goliath.
total. You get your bet plus another like 2.
What, 3 to 1?
Yeah. No, it was 1 to 3 for. It was 3 to 1 on the Goliath.
The Goliath was the favored.
Hmm.
Halfling and the halfling had won.
You only get the bigger
that's right.
prize.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I would like to know, and I'm going to kind of start this discussion with the table on kind of hushed tones. I guess it don't have to be that hushed. It's probably super loud in here. But I'm not trying to have this conversation so that like everybody can hear. I'm interested to know if there's something else going on. It seems as though obviously the Goliath was way better equipped to do that. It wasn't a very didn't seem like it was a very fair matchup. I'm interested to know if they're forcing people to fight or if it's all voluntary. Perhaps we should do a little investigating into the underworkings of what's going on, especially given that this new mysterious hooded figure is who's running everything. I'm really curious about this, guys. This is my temple. I'm so sad.
This is my temple. That's so funny.
I'm very concerned that there might be some ill musings or ill there's bad things happening, and I feel it in my gut.
Okay.
And I could use some of my sneakier friends and some of their expertise. I'm more of a smash a few doors in and start asking questions. But you guys have a little bit more finesse.
I guess Rigby would be on board with investigating that.
So far, too. I got my old creepy lady to dress up as. We could try her out.
Not to mention that Webb has had multiple run-ins with a little guild around here too. And I don't know that we know that exactly, but he's done his fair share of sneaking around here. So
Okay.
that's my proposition. I would like to fight, but I'm really just more concerned with the state of affairs currently.
Okay. That sounds good. Are you guys all working on that then? So it sounds like some of the sneakier people, like Josara is down. You're thinking Webb's probably down, keeping his ear to the ground. Rigby's interested in helping to figure out what's going on with it. Are you trying to meet this guy, or how are you going about it?
I don't know yet. I'm not usually the brains.
Well, were you wanting to start this tonight or just in general?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. Sure.
So you don't want to fight until it's been resolved, the whole.
I'm more
These guys.
interested in the investigation than a fight currently. We've had a lot of fights. I would love to fight, but and if fighting will draw out what needs to be done in order to get like accomplish our goal, then also I'm up for that. I'm very interested in this, and I think it would benefit all of us. I think if there's something going on that's shady in Summerside, that not only would the town benefit, but the guild would probably be thankful.
Well, my first impulse would be to like check the schedule for the evening, or like the slate of upcoming fights, and then see if we can talk to any of the fighters who haven't taken the pit yet.
Yeah, and it may seem undermatched.
Just as a starting point, like see what kind of people they're putting up against, certain fighters.
Sure.
Okay.
Just a idea.
Yeah, sure.
Seems like a good place to start. I'll go.
She sounds like she's in an accordion.
Right?
The whoever's then. I can go ask whoever does the sign-ups for like the slate for the evening or whatever.
Or shouldn't there be like programs or something of the upcoming fights to kind of promote them and let people buy tickets and whatever?
Maybe.
Am I missing something? Wait, what?
I'm imagining it a little bit like a like dog racing. You can
Yeah,
get
like
this,
flyers.
that on.
They would advertise the fights at that time. Like people would already know who's
You'd
gonna be fighting.
advertise a main event. You wouldn't necessarily advertise all of them, right? Like
Maybe, yeah.
a lot of the promos would be for the big stuff to bring people in, but you'd need like some sort of listing somewhere that would list all of the other undercard fights, for lack of different term.
Jafar has been exploring a lot under 3 different faces for the last couple of weeks, so she's heard some rumors of some characters coming into town, and still needs to explore that a little bit, because it seems like they don't have great intentions behind them. There's groups of wealthy folks coming in through the parlay point.
The parlay point?
Yeah, that's part of where I explore a little bit as a
Makes a lot of
royal
sense.
family member. So just been kind of gathering some things. Didn't have a whole lot of context to it, but hearing about the fights now starting to come together a little bit. So gonna put my disguise back on. She'll put her disguise on for the old haggard woman, and the what's his name? Fight manager?
Game master.
Game master, thank you. Is there in the pit, right?
He is sitting along. Good question. So he is sitting along the side of the pit. So if you're in the pit, you guys' spot. Let me see if I have it open still. Yeah, your guys' spot is the bottom left-hand corner. And let's see. I'll just throw Rigby there so it's done. No, okay, I don't need to do that. Your guys' corner in the bottom left-hand corner. He is sitting on the middle top north side there.
Hey, can you throw that map? I just tried to pull my map up, and I pulled up Hectorville.
Yeah, because that's probably where you're on. There you go. And here, I can just put you guys on there. Web. No more Hectare. I did change Hector to have a better picture for you specifically, Mac. Because you were so mad about
he
it.
looks.
You're
I
like,
thought
he looks
that.
like a
No, I
little
saw
lady.
it. He looks. I was gonna say something. He looks like an armored boy now versus a little creepy Asian woman.
Yeah, that picture is spot on. It looks like a child in adult armor.
That's what he's now got going on. So that's where you guys all are.
Guys, I don't know if you've been down to concessions, but they have these things there called churros, and they are delicious. You can tell my hat of disguise is worn off.
That's what I was gonna say. You're looking fat again, Webb. Who is this guy? Bring the other Webb back.
Oh, it's pretty good. Just cinnamon everywhere, just covered in butter, cinnamon.
It's pretty
shame.
good. That's too much. Okay. So that's good. So you guys have that under your belt. So you have now searched around town a little bit. You've asked some. Have you guys done that? Have you actually asked around some things or no?
Have I?
Yeah, I mean that's investigation
No.
to actually do it.
Well, I mean, I've already been doing it the last 2 weeks just to kind of see, since we've been gone for so long, what's been going on in town. Not specifically about the fighting pit, because it was my first time getting back in there with you guys and with Calcine. So now I'm just lurking around. I've put on the disguise for the old haggard woman. We'll call her Shirley.
Oh, truly we will. Surely is fine.
Are
Shirley.
you just like putting your disguise on at the table, or is this like the next day, or what?
I stepped away.
Okay.
On a phone booth.
I found a phone booth, yeah. Right. I'm kind of like Superman, where I just basically take off my clothes and now I'm an old haggard woman. The makeup disappears.
Out of nowhere.
Honestly, your stealth bonus is probably high enough. You could just roll for it, like do it in front of everybody, and no one would notice.
That actually might be true.
I guess I could take some initiative and use my celebrity.
There. Stealth bonus. Hi.
I went ahead and threw the master games on the sheet up there too. Are you literally trying to hide and change into your outfit right now?
Yeah.
I think it'd be reasonable since she has been investigating the area and that's
Yeah,
part
absolutely.
of her background story. Like maybe she can just roll and investigate and see if she learned anything about this
Yeah, I think that
in the
makes
previous.
sense. That's fine.
Okay. Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Learned
investigation.
a whole lot of
did
Why
not
don't you
go
try
great.
rolling that?
Luckily,
Why
there's a
don't you try
halfling
rolling
right
that
there.
again? Yeah, give that another shot.
So I'm gonna go ahead and
As
try.
long as
that
you
one.
try one of these churros.
Oh, cinnamon everywhere.
All right, so you don't learn a ton about the Master of Games himself. He's a kind of a bit of a recluse. He doesn't really. He comes to all the main events, and he typically sits by himself with just a couple of like guards that come with him, pretty well armored guards. He does appear to be elven. He is on the map. If you wanted to scroll in, you can kind of see an idea of what he looks like. Out of character, in character, you won't get that good of a view of his face from where you are. Does anybody want to go closer to try to actually get a look at him before the end of... Because he's going to be getting up to leave here shortly now that the end of that match happened.
Is this the owner guy, the mysterious owner guy?
Right.
Oh, 100. I definitely want to look at him. Yeah.
What if
He
What
looks
if
like
I
a
tried
bloodsucker.
to use I mean, they've got a poster up of me. Can
Megan's talking, but it sounds like she's in a Skittles
I
package.
like just go ask for a tour and perhaps ask to meet the new owner? Sorry. Is it any better?
Yeah, I heard
Well-
the last part. Ask for the owner, go up to him.
I just feel like they have a poster of me up on the wall. It wouldn't be unreasonable for me to walk around and be like, "Hey, the place looks great. Do you think I could have a tour? Maybe meet the new owner?"
That's the person.
Yeah.
Does he have people flanking him? Like you said, he's sitting or no?
Yeah, he was sitting until the end of the match, but as soon as the match is over, him and his bodyguards are going to kind of get up and start to move away from the area.
I would like to back up to when it's like during whatever, because frankly, I was having a screaming baby in my arms, so I'd like to just go back on just a tick.
We just slip
Is
back
there,
into the other time there real quick.
I mean, well, yeah, if there was an opportunity to, like, do you say he had people sitting on all of his sides as well?
Yes, he is surrounded by 2 standing and alert at attention guards.
Okay, what about the seats next to him?
It is a kind of decorated, kind of nicer seating than most of the rest of the places. It's not made for you to slide into. It's like almost a throne of sorts.
Private box.
Yes, he's in the event box.
Drat.
He looks gross.
Because
I
Zayas
don't
is
like
plucky.
him.
So, all right. Okay, whatever. My instinct, I can't picture it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna have Rigby sort of like discreetly let out his familiar, the Raven, and just have her act naturally for a minute or two, and then go up and kind of circle above the game master. And my instructions are to tail him when he leaves.
Okay. Tail the game master. Okay.
Yeah, I hear that.
That sounds good.
From the air, whatever's.
Don't land in his pocket and hang out or anything. Just
Yeah, exactly.
oh, it's me. Don't worry about me. Brr.
Nevermore, nevermore.
Rah,
And
rah, nevermore.
I
Okay.
feel like he looks familiar. Like I've seen him have some sneaky conversation in the shadows in some of the pubs we've been there.
100%. Rigby, give me a stealth check for your crow. Zayas, are you sliding into his DMs? Are you going to try and catch him as he leaves? You're talking to yourself. Boop.
yeah, I might try to catch him as he leaves. Let's see.
Calcine is wanting to just wander up to him and say, hey, I'm from here. I did things. I'm famous. Can I get a tour?
Yeah, and I think I'd like to maybe sidle up if Calcine, do you mind some company?
I just think it would be appropriate to introduce myself to the guy that owns the building, considering my face is on the fucking wall.
Oh,
I agree with you, and I have a shiny sword, and Zayas has a pretty face, so I just thought, like, if he's an owner of a thing and he's trying to draw crowds, I wonder if I could like sidle up with you while you do that.
hey, girls go to the bathroom together. It makes sense. Cam,
Right.
are you stealthing around as an old lady now? What was her name? You named her. What was her name?
Shirley.
Shirley.
Shirlethan is really her full name, but she goes by Shirley.
Surely she does. Are you going to stealth around and try to follow him as well? Is that your
Yeah,
plan?
I'm not real fast, but I'm fast enough to keep up. I got these long, bendy legs hidden under this tattered cloak, so you can.
Okay,
Catch
and then
him like a
Magvaris,
sucker.
what does the church think about all this sneaking around and trying to just meet some random owner?
The church has nothing to say about it, but the number one fan club, Calcine, is definitely going to follow Calcine. So
Okay, so it sounds like Zayas and Magvaris and Calcine are heading off together. Rigby, you're just letting the Raven do the talking. Webb is probably knee-deep in churros and could care less about anything to do with the rib tickler.
Elbow deep,
Elbow
at
deep.
least.
Okay, whatever you need it to be. His beard is covered in cinnamon. He's a very tasty young halfling. Cool, let's start with Calcine and Zayas approaching. You guys approach, trying to catch him. I'm going to give you a chance to catch him because he is elusive. So you can have advantage, whoever's rolling it. I assume it'd probably be Calcine since she's going to be the one trying to actually get in front of him. And let's do athletics.
Oh, you mean physically? Like it's like I don't know, we're accosting him actually? It's not like
Your
a persuasion
athletics
situation?
to get the F over there, like in time before he hits the like underground system. Shit.
Oh, we wouldn't have been kind of set up to be there. Okay.
23.
There you go.
It's not too bad, right? The second one's not good though.
That's
It
not,
was
it's with
advantage,
advantage.
and I forgot to roll with advantage.
I know you guys are so funny.
So
Like,
that
what do
one
you
was the
mean?
drop.
What do you mean the second one's not good?
No, I was just telling you I rolled 2 because I forgot to roll with advantage. So
I know. I knew what you did. I was just giving you a hard time. Okay, so you guys book it over there, the three of you. book it over there. The raven follows closely and quite stealthily as well. As long as it's within 100 feet of you, Rigby, are you going to go into its eyes and ears, or are you just like waiting to hear back?
Yeah, I'm just going to wait for it to report back because I don't want to blind or deafen myself at the moment.
By yourself, okay. And then Webb is pounding churros. Jill, Sarah, you're kind of sidling along as well. You are let me go ahead and give me a stealth check, and then I'll be able to figure out for sure.
I'm said with advantage, and that's right because I'm in my disguise. Is that right?
No, you have boots of elvenkind.
Oh, that's right, the boots. I'm booty.
Oh yeah, so you sidle the F on over as well. So you manage to reach him as he reaches the door to the underground getaway path.
Go ahead and turn. You can turn this light off if you need to.
When you get to him, Calcine and Magvaris, you recognize him, although he looks healthier than he did when you found him in the slave pit, or in the Yanti dungeon. It's Von Taran, the elder elf that was captured and very frail. He's quite a bit healthier now, still kind of jaunt, still quite pale, and still white-haired, and everything. He is dressed to the nails, like he's dressed in very expensive clothing. He has expensive jewelry on. All appears to be, it's not all, but some of it appears to be magical, just based on how nice it is and some runes around the edge of it, of them. Just upon getting up right in front of him, you're shocked to find that it's Von Taran, who is actually the game master.
Okay.
He stops when you approach, and because you get there right as he's about to go through the thing. His guards square off with you as you come up, thinking you could be getting up on him for nefarious means. He sees you, and he kind of stops them in the process and says, "I know these two. I don't know her. What is up with you, Calcine, Magvaris? You've returned, it seems."
We approached and said, "Oh,
Hey,
quite
buddy.
a surprise. It's nice to see that you're doing well. I had just come over to introduce myself and noticed that there was a change in ownership, and my likeness is on the wall, so I figured it was appropriate to do so. We weren't expecting you. This is Zaius, a new companion of ours."
Hey.
Good day, Miss Zaius. It's definitely good to have you back, Calcine, and obviously Magvaris. The two of you, I have a life debt of sorts to the pair of you. A little bit of reasoning why I left your picture on the wall after I took over ownership, but you did have quite a fair standing in combat over time as well, so it played to itself. No one seemed to complain very much. But what can I do for you? Now that you're back, are you here to ask a favor of me?
No, I suppose we were just interested in meeting the mysterious game master and learning some more about the change in ownership. How did you come to? I mean, we know that the old owner died, but how did you end up in here?
Well, I spent the majority of my life accruing different avenues and avenues to revenue. And just because I was locked up, most of those did not stop accruing. So when I got out and checked on my affairs, though some time had gone by, I was able to get back into things once my health made a turn for the better. And I made an offer to the half-orc, and then to the new, then to the city itself once he ended up dead, to buy the place, and I was able to.
You look great, by the way. Is there a certain diet you're following, or honestly, if I could glow like you, I'd be excited.
No, I mostly eat vegetables.
Sure.
Sometimes fish maybe on a Sunday, but most of the time, I've been sticking to vegetables and raw vegetables at that. My palate, since having been taken by the Yanti, has not been the same for meats and denser proteins and things.
Yeah. steering clear of red meat, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Smart.
My stomach kind of made a turn for the worst.
Team, I don't know the background. Is that real? Do we think he's a
just
vampire?
a highborn elf.
Oh. Who did he... What's... Yanti, is that like a bad guy who captured him and was like...
Yeah,
that's the bad guys
So
who
can we
canceled.
roll
The last
like
mission
history
we
or
did
knowledge
where-
or something?
Yeah,
No,
What
with
did he
like-
say?
Does he look like a high elf right now, or does he look like a vampire? Because it looks like a vampire.
He looks like a very pale high elf.
Okay, so he doesn't look like a vampire does.
I mean, are you detecting
He's
that
just
bad?
not giving you that as the DM. I think...
I mean, I'm just.
I don't know that
saying,
he's-
he looks like a vampire in the photo.
He looks super vampire-y.
He looks like a
you know,
vampire in real
I'm just
life,
saying.
like in front of you, but he's standing. He was outside. The sun was out. He's now down below. About to enter the exit cave. The sun was out. He does have a cloak on that covers most of his head, and so he wasn't really like in direct sunlight a ton. Von Terrian himself was not. He was not a vampire when you left him.
Oh, I just found the portrait. That dude's a vampire, for 100% sure.
That's right, he looks like a vampire. That's what I'm saying.
He
So
definitely.
perhaps
He definitely has the
perhaps
look.
we could arrange a meal later on, and we could sit down and catch up. We're just interested in what's been going on in the town since we left, and you seem like you probably have your ear to the ground.
Yeah, of course. I'd love to have you over for dinner.
Mouth
Please,
to the throat.
please come by my estates today, tomorrow. When is better for you?
We actually got a couple days of free time. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you think tomorrow?
sure.
I mean, tomorrow doesn't necessarily work for me unless it's in the morning or something.
Magvarus, of course you're welcome any time. If you'd prefer to come for breakfast tomorrow, I could have you all.
We'll make it a brunch date.
A brunch day tomorrow it is. That sounds fantastic. I can't wait to hear about your travels. And I will give you whatever knowledge I have on the town. Of course, I owe you all everything. I would either be dead or still rotting in a Yanti prison if it wasn't for you and your friends. Perhaps you'll grace the arena with another fight soon? Battlemaster Calcine?
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Would you like to fight the Black Knight?
Can I insight check? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
He literally is just asking if you're interested in fighting the Black Knight. The Black Knight barely got hurt. I mean, he got stabbed in the leg and a little blood splurted out, but overall he hand over fist won that combat.
Oh,
Like,
did I lose my bet?
Hmm?
I lost my bet, right?
What?
Earlier, yeah.
What I'm asking is overall, he seems genuine.
Yeah, he's just asking a question. He doesn't care either way. He's not like, you should do it. He's more just like...
No. I mean, in general,
Yeah,
he
he's generally surprised to see you. He's not
okay.
displeased.
Shifty?
Huh?
He's not shifty.
Oh, he's definitely shifty, but that's mostly to you, just because you don't know him. But he seems to actually be thankful for you saving him. He's definitely like, I appreciate you. I owe you a life debt. There's nothing I wouldn't do for you and your ilk because you've made my living possible.
Okay. Well, maybe we can talk about that over brunch. I'm interested to know where you found your Black Knight.
Yes, of course. That is a long conversation. There's a few things that have come up that have been kind of an interesting change of pace for me as well, as far as getting this arena to up and run and work well with the new mayor in town. But yeah, I look forward to brunch with you all tomorrow. Then is that fair?
Yeah, we might have acquired a new cohort or two. If that's okay, I don't want to bring strangers in without you being aware.
How many are we speaking? I can let the chef know.
There's
How many to cook for?
Are there 6 of us? Yes,
There's 6
of
player
us.
characters. Yes.
Yeah, 6.
6 of us is all. We lost Borla somewhere along the way to the bottom, but
I I swear I saw him
A few-
at an establishment recently having a beverage, but I didn't get a good look
Probably.
at him. It just looked like him, and the hat kind of covered his face, so I wasn't sure. I didn't want to bother somebody I didn't know. Where's board?
We're not doing the team matches anymore at the roof tuffler, or is it? Because the last time it was a team match.
No, great question. I would be open to team matches again. I found that with the kill or be killed type mentality, team matches have been less popular, just because less people want to put their lives on the line all at once.
Yeah.
But if the 6 of you would like to, show off your adventuresome might in the arena against, all comers or whatnot, I'm sure I could arrange something and find some worthy or semi-worthy adversaries. Could be a healthy payday for all of us.
I would look forward to that.
Okay. Cool. So, unless there's anything else, then I do have some matters to attend to before evening is fully set upon us.
We'll see you in the morning.
No one else?
Great
Okay.
to meet you.
Cool. He meanders on through. They take him through a gated door, open it with a silver key out of his pouch, and then he enters, and his 2 guards follow after him. Both his guards are fully plated, fully shielded with long swords and crossbows, and they look like they've not only seen battle, but mean business. They both appear to be human. Churro check. The churros were delicious. Add 6 pounds to your waistline.
You did it as me.
And they were great the first time you started eating them. When you went back for seconds, they introduced you to this substance called whipped cream, and you just went bananas. No.
Game over.
Game over.
This whipped cream is driving me bananas.
Well,
Hell, I might try to put it on bananas.
it can be delicious. Okay. So then I guess we are going to head to brunch next, unless anybody's got anything else they want to do the evening before the brunch date with
On trap.
Vontarian.
Is there any way that I was able to go through that doorway behind them, or no? What would have been too
No,
private?
not really. It's like there's open passage to either side of it, and then a gate that the guards are gonna close directly behind him, and then move off into the distance.
Okay.
Now you
So
could
before-
you could thief pick the lock and go in after,
Okay.
but you're pretty well hidden. So I'll say you heard the conversation. You've been invited as a party to his home the following morning.
Okay. So before we go to brunch, can I talk to the team about whether or not I should come as myself or as the
Yeah, go ahead and talk to him. They're
Sister?
right here.
You would be well known as an adventurer as part of the Black Star team, so you should definitely come as yourself. There's no deception there, and like, why would we have a person of royal blood with us or an old hag as an adventuring team?
Yeah, I get that. So maybe, hey, you've got a friend here in town that I thought you should meet, and she doesn't want you eating any more little babies, you bloodsucker.
Aw,
His lips are
poor
definitely red.
Vontarian. He's so misunderstood.
He looks like Johnny Depp with paint. It's creepy.
All right.
All right, so I'll come as myself. That's what I was asking.
Okay. Sounds really good. Max, is Rigby getting carried on the palanquin at this point, or is he gonna walk to brunch?
I told you he can walk, and also he's going to leave his servants outside because I take care of their
Do not
needs.
bark.
They don't join me for meals of this sort.
So my question is every night do you like give them a bath, like scrub all their stuff down so they don't like have the smell on them, you know?
I keep them quite clean. I know the prestidigitation spell. I think you can clean things with that.
Prestidigitation and mending, they stay well kept. I got it. Okay. Cool. So unless anybody has anything else the evening of, we've got 15 minutes before 11. I know it went by quick because we were like role playing and talking about town and doing things. And I know you guys are used to hardcore 7 pounds of combat, but we're not going to do that tonight. So, what did she say? I saw her lips moving. But yeah, no.
I said that's fine sometimes.
Yeah, it's okay. So you got anybody doing anything before I head on to brunch with Von Taren?
I don't think so.
Because Audra's not going to be able to get there in time, like, with this knowledge, Zaius would make sure to really understand the dynamics underneath all the stuff. Right? So she'd go in. Like, for example, I was coming in real hot at, like, the fighter guy. What's his name?
Thronbar.
Thronbar?
Thronbar, yeah.
That's a good name. I like that. But yeah, like, I was coming in real hot at him because I was just confused in my brain. So, yeah, so Zaius would know, like, I guess she would grill everybody for the history with this, obviously, vampire. But, back when he wasn't a vampire. And plus, I would want us to talk about, as, like, a team, are we sure it's a problem if he's a vampire? Just throwing it out there, right? Like, if he's, for example, if he's just murdering people on the side, I guess that's not great. But there's a horrifying movie called The Little Vampire, where the guy drinks a cow in kind of an emergency. So Zaius will just be spitballing. Like, do we make sure that makes him a problem? And maybe we can. Okay, bye.
Audra, you know that paladins can detect undead, right?
I remember that now that Rigby has reminded me of that.
Okay, just
yeah.
FYI, it's called Divine Sense. It's useful in these situations. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It actually can sense all kinds of things.
Did you use
undead?
So we'll backtrack there just since you forgot. Did you use Divine Sense while in his presence before?
If I'm allowed to have remembered that it existed in me, then yes.
You would know this, and he does look the part. Like, he does not look like a vampire. That is a fact. Mm-hmm. But he looks like an elven vampire for all intents and purposes on the outside. Do you want to use Divine Sense, it sounds like?
Yes.
He is not undead.
Interesting. Okay, so hang on, let me...
But do you smell something weird coming from Magvarus's direction? Because the little undead over there.
Well, of course she would know.
You would definitely sense that Magvarus, on the other hand, is undead.
But she would have sensed that all
Magvarus
along.
is undead? He wasn't resurrected?
From the point I was resurrected, yeah. You would have noticed that I'm undead.
Yeah, he was resurrected.
So we're being a little bit judgy of someone that's actually not undead when we brought an undead with us.
That's awkward. He doesn't like smell or groan or moan or eat brains, but he's definitely.
Wait, what is the range of Divine Sense, by the way? Because
not quite enough, because they are waiting outside. Just outside the range.
Although he did come back screaming for 2 minutes, as he reminded me today.
Very cool. So. Evening turns tonight. You guys all settle in at wherever you're staying, whether it's the Dagger Board or, Evan the Red Sock for his web. Who knows? A
vampire.
Interesting. I've got some other stuff in my brain. I'm just gonna hang on. I'm filtering through it, but we'll just go straight to brunch for now. Then, since nobody's doing anything this evening.
So I would have told everybody the outcome of that Divine Sense, because that's something I could kind of just do, I think, just kind of inside my head or whatever. Like, I don't think I would have had to be like, hababity, in his face to do it. And,
I don't think so.
And, anyway, so I would make sure that night that everybody knew that he's not registering as undead. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Divine Sense.
Celestial fiend undead within 60 feet.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You know that. You tell them, hey, he's not a vampire. I know he looks the part, but he really isn't. And to be fair, Von Taren looks sickly and pale when you met him. He just looks healthier and sickly and pale now. Like, he's not skin and bones. Like, he's just skinny now. He's not, like, malnourished.
Plus gone.
Yes, he's got a little bit of cheek. He's got actual cheekbones, but they're not, like, they don't cut your hand when you stroke his face.
And I plan on stroking his face.
I knew as much. You've always liked the sickly elves. All right, cool. You guys, we will pick up with brunch with Von Taren probably next week, I think. just because we got 10 minutes, I don't want to get deep into a Vontarian chit-chat and whatnot after. If I missed anything that you guys wanted me to cover, or if you have ideas of things you'd like to do in Summerside, we will be here next week too. I'm going to assume you guys will do a group fight in the pit at the end of the conversation with Vontaran, based on what I know of Vontaran and I know of your party. So I will try to prepare for that, to where we could potentially have battle in the pit as the last half of the game next week, potentially.
Question for you before we take off.
Well, we got a couple minutes.
Was I able to reach my other person I was scrying on?
So that's actually after brunch. You guys are going to dinner with the different... You're going to your priestess, and he's going to the high priest of...
Oh, not the priestess. There was a third person I scryed on.
Your sister, your mother, your best friend.
Yeah, a fourth person, I guess. My lady friend.
Oh.
Oh, she's dead.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I have no idea. I just made that up.
Okay.
That's so mean. What's
your
Ryan on, by the way?
Your faces were worth it. No, Evan, I don't remember that one. You'll have to hit me up tomorrow.
Okay.
I guess I'll probably see you. So.
Yeah.
How do you always pick the same spells as me? I can't believe we both picked scrying. What is up with that?
We're like the same spellcaster.
Super helpful.
I'm feeling very scryed on right now.
Dane, I have a question. When you get a chance, could you identify the magic items that I added to my inventory?
Yeah, I'll do it
because
now.
they're like a generic amulet and like double gold ring or something. Thanks.
Boop. Double gold ring, and then you need to put down what you.
Yeah, I put it in my notes, but I can put it wherever is useful.
Okay.
I already decided what spells I was storing. So
Gotcha. You can put under actions tab where you can make a spell store.
Oh, I can do like a custom. Oh yeah,
like
okay.
a powers
All right.
box for it. Yeah.
I'll do that next time.
Yeah, no problem. Cool. All right. Well, hopefully I covered everything for you guys. We've got a couple minutes left till the actual end, but thoughts, questions, answers, philosophical debates you guys want to throw at me in the next 6 to 8 minutes?
I just want to say this was a fun change of pace. Getting to do some like role playing and like cruising around town and like stuff like that. So I thought it was a good game.
Good, I appreciate that. I plan on being in Summerside at least the next probably 2 games. So we might have more similar like this. I'm hoping that we'll get to combat in the pit, just for a little combat in the pit to kind of push things forward, maybe make you guys some cash. And it is somewhat contained that way, at least too, in the fighting pits.
Yeah, RP with some combat is my sweet spot.
What's your sweet spot?
RP, some combat. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to eventually understanding how Twitch works and having it be to where I think what I'm going to do is make it to where bits equal pluses and minuses depending on preference. So, you can set, like, the followers and subscribers can send bits to us, and however many bits equals X amount of bonus. So, like, say you're attacking and it's your turn, we'll have a pool of bits points, essentially, to help, and a pool to hinder that I can pull into as well, or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out as I learn how Twitch even works, because I still have no clue what I'm doing. But I just thought that'd be an interesting way to involve the masses in figuring out, how to help you guys get through. Or if they're like, I really don't like Jilsara. I hope she misses with her sweet new arrow. And they're like, how about I pay 500 bits and you get -5 your next attack? And I'm like, sorry guys, looks like the chat has said Jilsara was going to miss this one, and you still roll a 20, you still hit, but those negatives go away.
No. And I roll superseding their stupid vote. So, no.
But I don't know. I think that might be a fun way to incorporate people watching. So we'll see
the
what
masses
happens.
That hate Jilsara, apparently.
Well, they could love you too, though. They could also say we want to give her pluses to that. So I don't know if we would just do pluses in real time. I think that might be nice, depending on who's chatting. or if we'll do like a pool of points that you're gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pull 2 of the 50 points we have pulled up from whatever, and I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Everyone's gonna give all the bits to Calcine. They're her fans, as they should be.
She does have a large fan club.
How many bits do I need to eat some churros?
Oh, you can eat some churros right now.
Covered in cinnamon.
I love my cinnamon.
Knees deep in cinnamon.
You gotta slather that butter all over it before you put down all the cinnamon.
I like it with that there French fried potatoes. That's hilarious. Well, cool. Anything else, guys? What else you guys got for me? I can go until 4 a.m., but I have to wake up and actually have a job tomorrow. It's weird.
It is weird.
Super. All right. Well,
I'm all set. I'm gonna head out. Bye, guys.
Yeah, no big deal. Then I'm gonna call it as well, guys. Thank you so much for coming and playing tonight, and I'll see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Bye.
Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.